Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, as we're getting ready for ice fishing, and I think of all the Vexilars that we talked about that people use now. They'll get in their hut and they'll look at their screens and they'll see down in the water. This fascination with screens has really become a big part of what modern fishing is. It wasn't the way it was when I was a kid or even a young adult. You basically go out and you fish in the blind. You go out there and you troll. What your goal is to find the fish. Well, now with all these graphs and screens, you can actually see the fish. You not only can find them, but you can see them. And I've talked to you about my buddy Dave, who's told me how he's learned so much about releasing his lure all the way to the bottom in this vertical jigging for trout in Cayuga Lake, and watching the fish appear out of nowhere and start following it up and maybe going back down, and the things that he's learned in being able to see the fish. I will tell you that most of your modern bass fishing pros that make a living out of fishing, they make a living by utilizing screens to the nth degree. If they went out there and they didn't have their electronics, they would be lost. A lot of them wouldn't even want to go out because they depend so much on being able to go out and see what's happening. In other parts of the country, we don't do it up here, but in other parts of the country, one of the most popular ways of fishing is to fish for bass while they're on their beds. And so if you're going to be able to fish for them while they're on their beds, first of all, you got to find the beds. Then you got to be able to see if the fish is on the bed. Well, now they make these cones where you can stick down in the water and you can actually see down and locate the fish on the bed, and then you can catch that fish off the bed. And I've gone on and on different reports about what I feel and what biologists in this area feel is the danger of catching fish off a bed. First of all, it isn't about the fish that's on the bed striking your lure because it's hungry, striking your lure because it's interested or being drawn to some noise or something. They're striking that lure only to protect the future generation of the fish. They're taking any danger off that bed so those fish can hatch and become older fish someday. And so that's why bed fishing is so different. It's not a question of once you find that fish, you're going to catch it. If you can get your lure down on the bed, you're going to catch it. And you can catch it over and over again. You can let that fish go back in the water. And its survival instinct to protect something it doesn't even see yet, but it knows that on that bed is its future survival of its species, it will continue to strike the same bait that's probably caused it utter pain, that's pulled it out of the water, that's put them through shock, and they go back down, and they'll go through the same thing again. So this whole report is about our new fascination with screens, how all these different graphs and screens have changed modern fishing. They made it a whole different sport, and some of us absolutely love it. We can certainly learn from it, and some of us, we enjoy some of the other factors of fishing, the unknowns that will remain unknown as long as you can't see those fish swimming down there in the water. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.